couple takes of this video, so let's see if I got it this time. All right, so if you guys look over here, you know, in my latest video, thanks again, it did really well. I'm already coughing. At the beginning of it though, people were asking, hey, what's a song name? What's a song name? What's a song name? Somebody even asked, hey, is it Delicate Steve? I don't know who Delicate Steve is, but no, it's not Delicate Steve. I lost the playlist, but I ended up finding it again here. You know, I was just randomly searching, and below the Gregorian chant that I was listening to, finally I found the, what's it called, the playlist again. So I was really excited about that. And if you go to the bottom, you'll see like, you know, I clicked the thing and there's all the song names on the bottom side. I highlight that and, you know, I saved it, whatever, and I brought it over and I was searching for the video again. I was like, all right, well, I gotta find out who made this because this person didn't put in the right credits for the original author of the song. So I searched it up, right, the little thing, and I found like Skyrim stuff and all sorts of necromancy things. And then I found the song, right? And this person, thankfully, they had the right, they gave credit to the original author, right? But look at the difference between, I'll go to the difference between the views. This video only has like 2,000 something views. I can't really see it from here. But the other one that I made had like a couple 100,000 views, right? Let's see how many, I don't even know if you can, the playlist had like 400,000 views or something like that. I can't really remember. But anyway, you know, I was kind of like, dang. And I went to this guy's YouTube page and I searched up the song, Necromancy, and I couldn't find the song anywhere. So it's not, the song's not even on YouTube, but you have these other guys reposting it, which like, I'm all for spreading that, you know what I mean? But they're just like reposting the song. You know, if you're using it for other content, I feel like it's fine, but they're just reposting it. Anyway, I clicked over and I found that the guy had an HDMI or HTTP, whatever, port for the link. And then he brought it over here, and then we found the website. Sorry, this thing is moving so freaking fast in front of me. I'll just talk through the rest of it. So what happened was that I went and typed in the link from that point, right, because I couldn't find it, and I went onto the website here, wherever it is over here, and I was like, oh, sweet, I found it. Finally, I could give the person credit. So I scrolled around, I clicked on the icon, even they're using the same art for the thumbnail, but didn't even credit to the website the first guy didn't, right? And it's hard to get there. So I'm just gonna drop the link and I'll do that same thing where you cut one of the little backslashes out. And so then you guys can like, you know, listen to music properly. I think that would be like a responsible thing for me to do for you guys. So thanks again for all the comments and stuff on that video, guys. You have no idea, my channel blew up like more than 1,000 subscribers in like a week, right? So like, thank you so much for that, guys. Like, I'm really grinding out here, so I appreciate it. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. All the best. Strong mentality. Peace out, guys. Hello everybody, it's me, Pottery Demon, coming back at you with another pottery video. Today, you might notice, what's this doohickey on my chest? This right here is a, it's like a GoPro camera mount for your chest, right? But I got to actually hook on my, I 3D printed, I don't know if you guys can even, you guys won't be able to see that. Maybe on the image, or when I go over there, you'll be able to see it. But I 3D printed a connector adapter to hold my microphone, so it has some better audio quality. I made this quite a long time ago, but I just haven't used this. And I thought that maybe now, since I'm not doing my GoPro on my head as much, I could switch it up. But all right, I'm gonna go over there. I'll catch you guys in a second. Peace. today we're also listening to Gregorian chant. I don't know why it became like a Chad thing, like the idea of Chad, to listen to Gregorian chant, but somebody made this like really like MS Paint-esque image in the background here for this music, and so, well, I'm gonna listen to it. I'm gonna enjoy it. Enjoy the music, enjoy the everything about it, right? Okay. So you guys can see the little 3D printed mount thing right here, right? Kind of cool that you can do that. That's like the beauty of a 3D printer, is sometimes there's certain things that would look really scuffed if you were trying to make it work, but the 3D printer makes it look intentionally scuffed rather than just scuffed. There's a lot of, I just didn't even see that my sponge is like totally disheveled right now. Well, I'm gonna keep it chilling down there for a little bit. Okay. Anyway, I also have a cut on my finger, and it's really bugging me. I did that like today, and it was just kind of frustrating. Anyway, here we are, centering the clay. I think today, you know what, guys? I actually had quite an interesting day. During my day today, I had you know, that jar that I had the other day. So I finally gave it to the woman who I made that urn for, right, and for her mother who passed, and it was such a beautiful moment. I was thinking about it for a little bit, like, dang, maybe I should go in. I asked somebody to record and I could show you guys, and then, you know, I realized that's not what I want if I was to get, like, after I had that one video like blow up, right, I realized that, dang, I don't have really control over the videos that blow up, right? I get, like, that video is just a very subpar one of my videos. I would love to have had one of my other videos kind of blow up, but you're not in charge of that, right? And so you got to be pretty careful on what you put out there, because you could very easily just be known for that thing, right? And so I thought about it, and I was like, well, you know what? I don't want to be known to be a guy who like goes and shoves a camera in people's faces and like tries to get views from that, right? Like, I feel like that's what the reception would be. It wouldn't have been about the whole entire me going to this, you know, Brugger's Bagels for like, you know, years now, and like building up this relationship with this woman so then I could make the urn for her mother, right? It wouldn't have been that beautiful story that I know it as, right? It would have been, oh, look at this guy makes a jar and shoves it in somebody's face and then records the reaction. And I just think that that's not me. I don't want that to be me. I'd rather, you know, it's a little bit selfish, but to me, those moments with that, like the moment that I had today with that lady, and, you know, the exchange was so amazing. That's for me. You know, I'm sorry, guys, but I work pretty hard to foster relationships enough where I can make things and them having that much importance, right? I call that charging an object, right? I work pretty dang hard for that. And so if that's for me, that's for me. I hope that you guys can one day experience that, but I think it's inappropriate for me to try to share that with you guys, you know? So, but I can tell you about it, you know? And some of them I may not even tell you. That's how special they are. But it was awesome, you know? And I told her a while ago, she doesn't have to pay me, you know? Just I want to be nice. You know, sometimes they give me a large coffee when I ask for like a small. They're really a nice group of ladies. And so as far as I'm concerned, whatever they ask for, I'll make it for them. Doesn't matter, you know? Might take a couple months, right, to get it to him, but I'll make it for him, right? And so, but today she was like, how much do I owe you for that jar? And I just said, you know, I knew she wasn't going to say, like, if I told her none, she was going to be a little bit like, no, like, I have to give you something. So I just said, like, $40, right? That's enough to buy, you know, like 3 bags of clay. That's enough to make, like, a lot more of those jars. You know, I don't have to pay for the glaze because I work at places where I can glaze for free. And I don't have to pay for the firing because I work at places that I can fire for free, right? So it's really not that much of a cost, just like labor and time and carting it around. And if it's for somebody I care about, that's nothing, you know? So I told her that, or I told her that $40 that's fine. And she went back and she got me a lot more than that. And it's not really important how much more, right? But she gave me a lot more than that. And it was very, very generous of her to do that. And I was very appreciative. I told her, I said, you know, as a maker, sometimes the most, like, we wouldn't exist if there wasn't anybody to make things for, right? And so there's not many times does a maker get to make things that they want to make for an individual specifically, right? That they really want to make, not for money, not that they just really want to make, right? And she gives me that opportunity to do that, right? And be able to make an object that's like very special, you know. I'm very honored about that, to have somebody like feel that way about my work enough to where they want me to do something like that. So that's enough for me, right? But yeah, so that's how my day started, guys. It was just so freaking powerful. Like I felt like I was like charged with electricity for the whole day. And so here we are, getting this kind of ready, taking this down. I had a couple of other cool moments today, but I think that first and foremost was my favorite part of the day. I also loaded a kiln today. Oh my gosh. This kiln stack was so amazing. A lot of people, you know, they don't understand how important your kiln stack is, right? Even in an electric kiln, these things are kind of important, right? You know, you wonder, okay, why are things not getting to temperature? Why do I have to set a hold in my kiln now? Because before I didn't have to. How tight are you loading that kiln, right? Are you loading it tight? If you're loading it tight, right, the objects are sponges for heat. And so when you shut off the kiln, if you don't have anything in there, it's going to crash cool so fast, right? And even as it's cooling, it's still, you know, allowing that clay or the glaze to fully mature until it gets down to, you know, a lower temperature, right? It changes depending on the glaze, but, you know, like, it's still cooking even when you hit peak temp, right? And so why are you putting in a hold now? Why do so many places have to put in a hold? It's because they're not filling their kilns up enough, right? They're not filling their kilns up enough to get to allow them to shut off the kiln normally, and it still gets the temp, right? And so it's pretty unfortunate, right? And a lot of glazes that are supposed to crystallize aren't crystallizing for that same thing. There's no natural cooling arc happening, right? And so I loaded this kiln so freaking tight. Oh my gosh, guys. I'm pretty proud of it, right? Some people get a little bit nervous when you stack things really close because they think it's going to drip on other things. But dripping is like a glaze determined by the glaze, really, you know? Like if something is not look like it's going to drip on something before the kiln, right? It's not going to magically, like the piece isn't going to magically jump over three inches and like stick to another piece unless you loaded it improperly, or unless there was the wrong clay body, you know. Where was I going with that thought? Oh yeah, but somebody came over and was telling me like, oh, that looks pretty close. Well, your objects are shrinking, right? Your objects are still not done shrinking all the way, right? And so the idea that it's too close and something's gonna, as things are dripping, right, it's gonna like create some mystical layer of thickness there that's gonna attach to them. That's not really that's not a worry that I have, right? I'm more worried about somebody setting in a terracotta piece and it like blisters, or I'm worried about like an object exploding, right? Other than that, you really want to keep your kiln load pretty tight, right? And that's something to keep in mind too. If you like are firing your own kilns and you're always struggling, right, with the glaze not turning out well, hey, it really could just be the firing, the way the firing is like actually being fired, right? That's why cones are kind of important, and doing cone segment firings, right? If you have to fire it to, cone 08 or 011, just to figure out if a glaze is like fluxed in or not, or you want to shut it off at a lower temp, right? Or you want to put a hold in to just test, right, how long these things are. Cones are a great way to indicate that, right? But you can also just kind of use your own pieces as a sort of test tiles in a way for these things, right? Anyway, look at this one, guys. This one's like, feels kind of magical. All right, this over here. I also want to turn this music up just a little bit more. I'm kind of vibing with it right now. It's like, candeat abscarate sunquam stelle quisque scintillet intra nos sotales. Sawe, Clay, sawe. Back to the bottom. Sorry. It's probably a loud noise for you guys. My bad. Take that fist, bring it out to your palm. Look at that. Like glass! Guys, like glass! Alright. Make the hole. Open this up. So I didn't wedge this one hard enough. I have some hard spots. But we're keeping that, as nice as we can here. Sick. Nice. Okay. Slowly bringing up this edge. Sauce. Making pottery. Well, in the basement, making pottery in the basement, yes. I got pretty thin right here. I don't know what happened. I'm just trying to patch that little mark, whatever happened there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there was like got really thin right on that edge. And so I'm just trying to Get some thickness back there. It's really thin in that one area, but we'll do our best here to really got one more pull. Oh, I went way too thin. Keep with it, guys. Don't let it scare you. Okay, we're chilling. Alright, let's get some of this water out. Alright. Two out. I got neighbors. Jesus, guys. The chanters were getting too hyped, guys. Okay, so how are we gonna freaking save this thing? We're just actually gonna go right over. Last time I had one of this sort of thing happen, the best way to do it was to not force it back, was to actually let that collapse, get heightened, but go loose while you go over it, right? So here we are. Right? You see what I mean, guys? Like, it actually became a very beautiful adornment on the middle part, right? We just had to leave it be. Don't try to like fix it, right? Try to move through it. Dang, that sounded like some life advice too. All right, I'm gonna kind of chill out here. Really, really thin. But look at that, guys. Looks kind of crazy. And we're just keeping our eye out for a collapse, right? It's pretty thin. But we want to just make sure we're not going too fast as well. That might emphasize that to collapse even more. Keep our thumb kind of anchored down. Look at that. Nice job, guys. Okay. Flap that ledge up. Say hello, ledge. What do you got going on? Nice. Look at that. Right down to the bottom there. Looks nice. Have it interact more with these curls, right? Sticking up in that one. Have this one feel like it's just lifting that, keeping that up. Right, look at that. Some tension there. Have this one curl over. Up, and have it holding onto this ledge. Right, like it's trying to grip on to the pot itself. Take these in. Maybe some of them go out and in. Some of them go out. Go to the bottom. Nice. Look at these lines, guys. Really trying to match the energy of the pot. Sometimes you don't want to overdo it. Take that one out. Look at that, guys. Really vibing with this one right now, guys. Okay. Set it down. Sorry guys, I kind of went into the zone here. I was like really quiet during the ending of that one. I thought I was really thinking, I guess if I was to put words what was happening, I'm thinking about how that one fits alongside of all the other pots, right? Like what is it saying when it's together with everything else, right? And sometimes when you see all of them at once, right, like you guys might not really, you might just see all the same form, right? But really every single one of these forms has something to say. You know, every single one is adding to this sort of conversation that the pots are having with each other. I think it's really, like for me, it's going to be so powerful to have them all just out there in one view, you know? There's this video I saw the other day about talking about Kanye. Whatever you feel about Kanye, I don't really, it's whatever. I don't have a preference if you like him or not. But I will say that has some really interesting musical, what's the word? Direction, right? Hey, chill. He has some really interesting music direction, even to the point where there was some musical artists and they were saying like, dang, Kanye, like he imagined this huge symphony while they were still in the studio and they only had a couple of the sounds recorded, right? And then at the end of when they got it all like recorded, it sounded amazing. It was like something that you have to be a real visionary to be able to predict something like that, right? In the same way, I want to feel that same exact way that Kanye probably felt, right? He was probably sitting there like, dang, you know, it's probably so epic to like have thought of something in the way that it looked in your head, and then for it to be not only be appreciated by a bunch of people, but to turn out fantastic, almost exactly the way that you imagined it. And I have an image in my head about how all these trees are going to look in a whole entire space, all 1,000 of them just freaking scattered, right? All of them kind of taking part in this big, huge image, right? Oh, I get really pumped up about it. But if a pot that I'm making feels like it's not going to be part of that conversation that I have in my mind with that, I really have to ask the pots, right? If they are going to work with what I'm trying to say with the work with the work. That's actually kind of funny, but it makes sense. I hope it does, at least to you guys. There we go. Getting up to the bottom of this, curling this up. Nice. One of these days, I'm gonna have a wheel that doesn't make a single clicking noise, right? It's gonna be just absolutely silent. It's gonna be so awesome. Alright, there we go, guys. That first layer was good. Or that first pull. What I'm doing at the bottom here is I'm doing like just like a compression just not really doing a normal pull, really just trying to get those layers nice and even and strong for a height pull, right? And so right here, we're gonna do a height pull. I'm gonna bring this in ever so slightly, wrap my finger around that edge, keep that edge nice and compressed. It's gonna help out. When you go to the bottom of the pot, you say, "Pot, what do you have to offer me?" And he gives you this little ring. And you say, "Thank you. I'll go on my pilgrimage up the side of the pot." Sometimes we stop along the way. Sometimes we're very consistent. Sometimes we leave behind something in our wake as we move past. Maybe a wobble, maybe a hole, maybe a little bit of off-centeredness. But we come to the top and we are released into the sky, right? Literally, once you get all that tension off, you take that moment and you bring it all the way up to the top. There's this release that happens at the top of the rim of the object that is just insane. Like you actually feel it like leaving the pot, right? Like you don't even know where it goes, right? You just feel it leave. Okay, here we go. Down at the bottom here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 this time. Normally we get 7, but sometimes we get 6. Actually, normally I think we get 5 or 4. The 4 ones are pretty good. Here we are. Take a big deep breath. Slowly pull this out. Just a little swabble there. Punch that out just as much as you can. Slowly let up. Look at that twist, guys. Nice. Take some of this clay on the bottom edge here. And slowly bring this out. Keeping our eye on it in case it wants to totally collapse on one side, right? We want these pots to look like they're not done yet, right? The forms aren't finished, right? And that's where we want to freeze it, right? Think like photography. Down to the bottom of the pot here. Slowly taking up this edge. There we go. Keeping our eye on that top edge. I mean, look at it, just wanting to totally twist and fall. You falling yet, buddy? He's hanging on for dear life. Hopefully I can finish this one soon, so then I can dry it on an angle. Oh, they're just gonna fall, guys. Not yet. Come back. On center, my friend. You're not finished yet. There we go. Keeping that base right on center so we can finish the skirt of the pot. We don't need to pull it out that much. We just want to make something happen with the clay that we have left over here. Okay. Grabbing our knife or our wire here. And you see how once we supported that bottom, it's no longer twisting around, right? So that's the power of that interior holding everything together. Nice. Look at that, guys. Slowly pulling this over, curling this up, guys, right on that edge. Look at that, guys. Bring this in. Twist that over. You know what? And we're going to have it stick right underneath these little curls. Up the side of the pot. You know what? We want this one to be frozen. Just in the middle of the air. You know, maybe we have these two touching. Hands up. Look at that, guys. They're holding hands. Alright, take this up over. Okay. Take these in. Curl this up and have this one just flap over. Just have that slide right on the inside of this. Another one. Interacting with each other very slowly. Taking these up. We don't want to start the form too much. We don't want to scare the pot. Today when I was at work, there's a lady. She was looking for her ceramics. And I accidentally scared her. I asked her something like, what are you looking for? And it startled her, right? And so, in the same way, I don't want to startle this pot. Just need to have this wheel keep spinning without that pot hearing me. I don't want it to get scared and fall over. And look at that. Look at that one, guys. Just really. Look at that. Have it tipping over towards you guys. Look at this. Can you guys see that? Look at that. Really? Look at that, guys. Okay. Whew. That was scary, guys. I feel like anybody who watches these videos is probably like, this guy's insane. You really gotta be a little bit theatrical with your process if you're gonna be doing it like a couple hundred times, a couple thousand times, whatever it is, right? You really gotta find some little moments along the way that excites you about the whole entire thing, right? Because if not, then you're gonna have a lot of times where you're like, what's the point of all this? And if you can't come up with a reason, you'll stop. But if you don't allow yourself a time to give a reason, you'll keep going forever. And with that, guys, I'm gonna set this right on there and get ready for our image. You like that? Does that have everything in focus? I kind of wanted to have this in focus on the back. Everything's in focus right there, guys. Look at that. Sweet. And now we're going to bring me back to life over here. You know, being right in this middle part might be okay. There you are, guys. I don't know. Look at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. All the best. Strong mentality. 2 times.